There are very few modern games out there right now that have the ability to grab my full attention for 20 hours straight without wanting to put the game down. The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 were two exceptional exceptions. With the recent release of The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, I decided I would play through both of the most recent versions of these games and relive the story once again. I was not disappointed, even to this day. Usually, I'd have a million and one things to say about a game developer remastering and remaking a game multiple times over and over again. I believe the first Last of Us upwards of 3 times now, and also selling it again for a full price $70. It's a lot, but Naughty Dog and The Last of Us is probably one of the only exceptions in the world that I would say that it's okay for that to happen. The way that Naughty Dog remastered The Last of Us Part 1 in the same style as Part 2 makes an already priceless game well worth playing full price for again. Even the comparison between the 2013 Last of Us release to the remastered release to the new version of The Last of Us Part 1, there's an absolute night and day difference between all 3 of the games, and this version, perfect. After playing through The Last of Us Part 2 again, I went back and finished Part 1 again as well, and I have to say, I forgot how fantastic the storyline was in Part 1, and then going into Part 2. Part 1 was a story mostly about love, whereas Part 2 was a story about revenge, with a throughput of love ingrained within. This is what makes the story so relatable to the players. The love you have for someone, then losing that loved one, going so long mourning, even at times not ever quite being able to accept it, until you finally learn to love again, at times you least expect it. With revenge going into Part 2, being ingrained within everyone's mindset when something happens to them or a loved one. Having that one person you love being done wrong by, to you doing all you can to inflict revenge upon that one person, and learning for yourself that it's not always the way, and it does ground you. Today I wanted to go through the entire storyline so far for the Last of Us games, going from the very beginning of Part 1 to the very end of Part 2, and talking about both games in great detail. As controversial as Part 2 was, the game was a modern masterpiece, and the ending of the game has so many different interpretations. Did Ellie make the right decision? What did leaving the guitar near the window really mean? Will Ellie and Abby meet again? So many questions, so much mystery. However, I'd be interested in listening to your views on The Last of Us and its story so far. Leave your comments down below in the video, it'd be very much appreciated just below the like button, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on the story so far, and where do you think Neil Druckmann and the team are going to take it next. But without further ado everyone, let's dive straight into the story of The Last of Us. I recently started a podcast that I'd love for you guys to go and check out. The first 1,000 people to go over and drop us a follow on our social medias will be entered into a giveaway for a couple of copies of The Last of Us games. The Gleam link will be down below in the description. Go follow it, get a couple of entries, and why not go show us some support. Storytelling, not just in gaming but movies and books, needs to establish 3 main pillars in the first 20 minutes of gameplay to captivate the player. The first one is character building. The characters you're first presented with are your first impressions of the game. They must be likeable, relatable, and you must care for them. The first 3 main characters we're presented with in The Last of Us are Sarah, Joel, and Tommy. All very serious, likeable, and you can tell they're as scared and as worried as the rest of us would be if we were in that situation. Later on in the story, when Joel first meets Ellie, he was very clearly still a broken man from losing Sarah at the beginning of the game, all of those years ago. It took Joel just over half of the game to form a bond with Ellie. You could see as you got further on into the game that Joel would start to engage in conversation a lot more with Ellie, until of course she turned into more of a daughter to Joel, and that's why he did what he did. Even characters like Tess, Sam and Henry, characters that weren't with you for very long in the story, but ones so influential when it comes to storytelling and world building. They all had a purpose of being there in the story. They weren't just filler. Every interaction with Joel and Ellie meant something. And when one of them died, the player felt that too. Second, the plot. You must have an interesting plot, which The Last of Us absolutely does. In The Last of Us, a mutated strand of the cordyceps fungus began to spread in the United States in late September 2013. Cordyceps originated from South America, carrying into humans through infected crops. Several months later, roughly 60% of humanity was either killed or infected by the fungus. Later, this was medically referred to as the cordyceps brain infection. The fungus grows whilst the host is still alive, with hosts undergoing 4 stages of infection. Stage 1 begins with 2 days of infection, wherein the host loses their higher brain function, and with it, their humanity, rendering them hyper-aggressive and incapable of reason or rational thought. Within 2 weeks, the host enters stage 2 of the infection, wherein the fungus begins altering their sight as a result of the progressing fungal growth over the head and corruption of their visual cortex. After a year of infection, the infection enters stage 3, scarring their face and blinding them, resulting in them developing a primitive form of echolocation to compensate. These are of course known as the clickers. In very rare cases, if the host survives for over a decade, they reach stage 4. They develop hardened fungal plates over most of their body. When the fungus kills the host's body grows stalk-like fungal projections which release infectious spores. The infection can also be spread throughout bites from living hosts. Hosts can only be infected whilst alive, as the fungus is unable to infect dead bodies due to its parasitic nature, though dead infected can release spores regardless of the stage. To protect themselves from airborne spores, survivors wear gas masks. Joel has one strapped to his hip, as does Tess. Those who are immune do not need them, however, namely Ellie being the only one. The infection seems unable to spread in open air areas such as the countryside, although some of these areas such as Lincoln and the suburban neighbourhoods of Pittsburgh at the time possess a higher population of infected. The infection mostly thrives in underground and enclosed areas commonly avoided by people, especially the sewers, the subway tunnels, and buildings. And then finally, world building, realism, animations, and set pieces. The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2 undoubtedly is one of the most beautiful video games ever created. But when playing through, you can see that Naughty Dog really pay attention to the finer detail. The animations when walking, climbing, the workbench are absolutely incredible. Each upgrade for different characters have different upgrade trees, and they have different animations to suit. The incredible set pieces, like the leaning skyscraper once you leave the city, and how can we forget the very, very last portion of The Last of Us Part 2 on Ellie and Dina's house. Areas underground that force you to utilise your flashlight to see where the heck you're going. The game was an absolute pleasure to play, and unlike in most video games, you actually wanted to explore the world that was around you, the set pieces. You wanted to go into every corridor, to go into every house. Everywhere was somewhere that you wanted to explore. Anyway, now we've covered a couple of things that make a good story and ones that a story must have, and of course the backstory of the infection. Let's talk about the Last of Us storyline. The first character you see on screen in The Last of Us Part 1 is Sarah, asleep on the sofa. This was Joel's daughter, his absolute world. The very first scene starts with Joel coming through the door on the phone to his brother Tommy, speaking about a job that had fallen through. Joel was doing all he could to provide for Sarah, but it was proving difficult at the time. The relationship is exactly what you'd expect from a father and daughter duo. Sarah waited up for Joel to come home, as it was also his birthday that day. She grabbed the box off the table and gave it to Joel as he sat down, which contained a watch he'd always complained about being broken. She somehow came up with the money to fix it, and Joel, although he didn't show it, he was appreciative of that, before eventually taking her up to bed.
Good night, baby girl.
Sarah woke up to a phone call.
Honey, I need to get your daddy on the phone.
Uncle Tommy, what time is it?
I need to talk to your dad now. There's something...
It was Tommy. His voice, however, sounded very stern on the phone, asking to speak with her father straight away. Sarah searched the house, but Joel wasn't there, until she entered his room and was watching the TV, where there was a news broadcast live, showing some trouble downtown. Riots downtown linked to an ongoing pandemic. Across the world, people infected, showing increased aggression towards officers. And then...
What was that?
At this point, Sarah was scared. She hastily walked downstairs, seeing police officers driving at high speed right past their house. After checking Joel's phone, 8 missed calls from Tommy, with a text saying he's on his way. We entered the annex of the house, and then in comes Joel, out of breath, telling us to keep away from the window. Telling Sarah to keep away from the window. Joel was unpacking a gun he had locked away in the drawer, with Sarah wondering what was going on. The neighbours weren't right, he said, with one smashing through the door before Joel shot him.
Jimmy, I am warning you!
You shot him.
Sarah,
I saw him this morning.
listen to me. There is something bad going on. You've got to get out of here. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Tommy was outside waiting for Joel and Sarah. They jumped straight in the car and left all of their belongings behind, and off they went. Throughout their drive, they saw a family on the side of the road, and queues of cars waiting to leave the city. Something major was going on here. And finally, seeing the infected right in front of their eyes, mauling a man and pulling him out of his vehicle.
Shit! What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened? Did you see that? Yes, I saw it. God damn. Turn here.
Tommy sped away, but they didn't get far. Joel, Sarah and Tommy finally wake, and they leave the crashed vehicle. Sarah was injured severely and couldn't walk on her own, so Joel carried her through the chaotic Texan town. Tommy stayed to hold off the remaining infected, whilst Joel and Sarah ran away to safety, until they were faced with an armed patrol officer.
It's okay, baby. We're safe. We're safe. Hey, we need help.
Stop!
Please. It's my daughter. I think her leg is broken.
Stop right there!
Okay. We're not sick.
Got a couple of civilians on the outer perimeter. Please advise.
Daddy, what about Uncle Tommy?
We're gonna get you to safety and go back for him, okay?
Sir, there's a little girl. But... Yes, sir.
Somebody, we've just been through hell. Okay, we just need... Shit. Please don't. Oh, no. Sarah? Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. God. Listen to me. I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby. I know it hurts. Come on, baby, please. I know, baby. I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. No. No. No, no. Please. Please. Please don't. Please.
One of the most heartbreaking scenes in gaming history for me, but the reason Joel is the way he is today.
The number of confirmed deaths has passed 200. The governor has called a state of emergency.
There were hundreds and hundreds of bodies lining the streets.
Panic spread worldwide after a leaked report from the World Health Organization showed that the latest vaccination tests have failed.
With the bureaucrats out of power, we can finally take the necessary steps.
Los Angeles is now the latest city to be placed under martial law. All residents are required to report to their designated quarantine. Riots have continued for a third consecutive day, and winter rations are at an all-time low.
A group calling themselves the Fireflies have claimed responsibility for both attacks.
Their public charter calls for the return of all branches of government.
Demonstrations broke out following the execution of 6 more alleged Fireflies.
You can still rise with us. Remember, when you're lost in the darkness, look for the light. Believe in the Fireflies.
20 years later, Joel wakes in a room to a knock at the door. Here we meet Tess for the first time. Tess and Joel were partners in this new world, exchanging ration cards for like currency, for weapons, pills, and other necessities. Tess tells Joel that she was jumped this morning, and those men were sent by a man named Robert. Robert was on Joel and Tess's hit list, after stealing a bunch of weaponry from them after promising that they'd get them. They sneak their way out of the Fedra facility and sneak their way into Robert's territory, where they eventually track him down. Robert sold Joel and Tess's weapons to a faction called the Fireflies. These are a group that were on the opposing side to Fedra. We then miraculously meet the leader of the Fireflies, who's named Marlene, who was also looking for Robert before Tess, well, taught him a lesson. Joel and Tess know Marlene very well, and they go way back. Joel's brother Tommy is also a Firefly currently. However, Joel never really agreed with that. Therefore, he never joined them, and they kind of had a big falling out over it. This is how Marlene knows Joel and Tess and knows to trust them. Joel and Tommy, however, haven't spoken in years, and it didn't seem like it ended on good terms either. Marlene tells Joel and Tess that their guns were paid for fair and square, and she wouldn't give them back unless it was earned. Marlene needed something smuggling out of the city, and when they found out what it was, or should I say who it was...
Let her go.
You're recruiting kind of young, aren't you?
She's not one of mine.
Oh, shit. What happened?
Don't worry, this is fixable. I got his help. But I can't come with you.
Although Marlene and Ellie didn't tell Joel and Tess why she needed to be smuggled, and they agreed to take Ellie to a location where she'd be handed over, and Joel and Tess could collect their weapons. Marlene and Ellie go way back. Marlene was friends with Ellie's mother and promised, as she was bitten, that she would be the one to look after her.
What are you doing?
Killing time.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
I am sure you will figure that out.
Your watch is broken. You mumble in your sleep. I hate bad dreams.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I've never been this close to the outside. Look how dark it is. Can't be any worse out there. Can it?
What on earth do the Fireflies want with you?
Hey. Sorry it took so long. Soldiers fucking everywhere.
How's Marlene?
She'll make it. I saw the merchandise. It's a lot. Wanna do this?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Tess, Joel and Ellie would wait until the night in order to escape the city to try and eliminate any patrols looking at them, making their way through the broken and destroyed city before being ambushed by 2 military guards. It was here that tensions ran high and answers were needed. The guards scanned Joel and Tess to confirm they weren't infected and all was fine. However, when it came to Ellie, the marker showed that she was infected.
I don't care how you got infected.
It's 3 weeks old.
No, everyone turns within 2 days, so you stop bullshitting.
It's 3 weeks. I swear. Why would she set you up?
Ellie quickly turned to the both of them and told them her story. She was bitten by a zombie 3 weeks ago, and the bite hadn't yet mutated. Usually it takes only hours to turn, but Ellie was an exception. When she told Marlene, she had a plan to deliver Ellie to a doctor to potentially create a cure. This was huge. However, Joel wasn't convinced until Tess talked him into continuing on. However, whilst making our journey through the city, reaching the checkpoint, things started to go severely wrong. The Fireflies that were meant to be waiting for us, the ones that we were supposed to hand Ellie off to, were all dead, executed. And Tess, well, she was bitten along the way.
Our luck had to run out sooner or later.
You going on?
No, don't! Don't touch me.
Holy shit. She's infected.
Joel,
Let me see it.
I didn't mean for this.
Show it to me. Oh, Christ.
Oops, right? Give me your arm. This was 3 weeks. I was bitten an hour ago, and it's already worse. This is fucking real, Joel. You've got to get this girl to Tommy's. He used to run with this crew. He'll know where to go.
No. That was your crusade. I am not doing that.
Yes, you are. Look. There's enough here that you have to feel some sort of obligation to me, so you get her to Tommy's. They're here.
Damn it.
I can buy you some time, but you have to run.
You want us to just leave you here?
Yes.
There is no way that...
I will not turn into one of those things. Come on. Make this easy for me.
I can find...
No, just go! Just fucking go.
It was at this point that Tess made the decision to hold off the military whilst Ellie and Joel left, and Joel had to finish the job. The goal was to take Ellie to Joel's brother, Tommy. They hadn't spoken in years, but he was a Firefly. He must know where to take her, where they're all holding up, to get a cure. The motivation for this, of course, that if they had a cure, then Tess would have survived. So that was Joel's motivating factor. Joel lost his daughter, and since then that grief has haunted him. He's never fully recovered from it, and never really took the time to grieve. The stigma for a male to bottle everything up and push on is Joel in a nutshell in this first game, and you can see this here with Ellie. He almost finds it hard to give Ellie that same affection that he would have given someone he cared about before, like Tess, like Sarah. He almost finds it hard to give Ellie that same affection that he would give to someone he cared for, such as Tess, such as Sarah. Joel goes all of these years with only needing to worry about himself, to now having the responsibility of Ellie, a 14-year-old girl similar age to Sarah when she passed as well. But also, the fate of the human race. If this was successful, they could reverse engineer a cure, and we could go back to some form of semi-normality. Joel's mindset is and has always been, finish the mission. And because that was Tess's final wish, that's exactly what he goes and does. Joel and Ellie make their way to a part of the city where a man named Bill was held up. Bill owed Joel a favour, and this was the perfect situation to be in, as where Tommy was only really attainable by car. Bill had been on his own for a long time, however. He had essentially taken over a small town, rigged it with loads of traps, and knew every shortcut like the back of his hand. He would help Joel and Ellie find a battery that he needed to get a car working and get out of the city.
We square. We're square. And get the fuck out of my town. Hey, what happened to sleeping?
Okay, I know it doesn't look like it, but this here is not a bad read. Only one problem. Right there. To be continued. I hate cliffhangers.
Where did you get that?
Back at Bill's. I mean, all this stuff was just lying there.
What else did you get?
Well... Here. This make you all nostalgic?
You know, that is actually before my time. That is a winner, though. Oh, man.
Well, better than nothing. Oh. I'm sure your friend will be missing this tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It's light on the reading, but it's got some interesting photos.
Now, Ellie, that ain't for kids.
Whoa! How the hell would he even walk around with that thing?
Get rid of that.
Well, hold your horses. I want to see what all the fuss is about. Oh. Why are these all stuck together? I'm just fucking with you. Bye-bye, dude. You know what? This isn't that bad.
Why don't you try to get some sleep? All right.
I'm not even tired.
Well, perfect.
Now what?
Screw it.
As you'd expect, however, once out of the city, it wasn't plain sailing.
Are we gonna help him?
Put your seatbelt on, Ellie.
Well, what about the guy?
He ain't even hurt.
were ambushed and had to fight their way through a group of bandits, which is where they came across and met Sam and Henry.
Look!
Leave him alone. Easy, son. Just take it easy.
It's all right. They're not the bad guys. Lower the gun. Man, you hit hard.
Well, I was trying to kill you.
Yeah, I thought you were one of them, too. Then I saw you. If you haven't noticed, they don't keep kids around. Survival of the fittest.
You're bleeding.
It's just nothing. I'm Henry. This is Sam. I think I caught your name was Joel.
Ellie.
How many are with you?
They're all dead.
Hey, we don't know that.
These were two brothers separated from their group and were just trying to survive. They had a plan to find and to join the Fireflies, which worked well with Joel and Ellie because that's exactly where they're going. So Henry and Sam tagged along. Henry mentioned that the rest of his older group were planning to meet near an old radio tower and make their way to the Fireflies together. So they plotted and planned their route, and off they went. Despite making it in the end, this didn't come without great difficulty. The group were ambushed by a high number of bandits and, following that, infected. However, luckily, they managed to escape relatively unscathed, until we see, the following morning, that Sam had been bitten. It took the night for Sam to properly turn, and Ellie found out the hard way as she went to wake him up, pinning her down trying to bite her. Joel raced for his weapon before Henry pointed a gun at Joel. Sam was still clawing away at Ellie before...
Shit!
Ellie? Ellie, are you all right?
Oh my god.
Sam?
Oh no.
Sam?
Henry? Ellie, stay there. Henry?
What have you done?
I'm gonna get that gun from you, okay? Oh, okay, easy.
It's your fault.
This is nobody's fault, Henry.
It's all your fault.
Henry! Henry, no!
Oh my god.
Henry shot his infected brother, and it seriously got the better of him. He was a mess, Joel telling him that it wasn't his fault, with Henry pointing the gun at Joel. Henry was distraught. The only thing he cared for in the world, the one thing he was fighting for, gone. Henry put the gun to his temple and pulled the trigger, leaving Joel and Ellie alone again.
Jackson County. Means we're close to Jackson City, right?
Shouldn't be more than a few miles.
You ready to see dear old brother?
I'm just ready to get there.
You nervous?
I don't know what I'm feeling.
Joel and Ellie, however, had no choice but to carry on their mission. They eventually made their way to a hydroelectric plant, where they encountered what looked like a group of bandits taking over a settlement, until one of them recognised Joel, and it was Tommy.
Tommy.
Holy shit.
How you doing, baby brother?
God damn.
Yeah.
Let me look at you. You got fucking old.
Easy. It's gonna happen to you, too.
This is Maria. Be nice to her. She sort of runs things around here.
Ma'am, thanks for not blowing my head off.
Would have been embarrassing, considering you're my brother-in-law.
We all got to get wrangled up at some point.
Tommy and his new wife, Maria, ran this place. It was founded and built by Maria and her father with the idea to become self-sustainable. Livestock, crops, electricity from the hydroelectric power plant. It was perfect. Maria took Ellie to get some food, whilst Joel and Tommy went off to have a more private conversation. This conversation was the reason that Joel came here in the first place. Joel wanted Tommy to take Ellie himself to the Fireflies, to finish the job. He'd done what Tess wanted him to do. He'd also done all he could do. Joel couldn't bring himself to forgive what happened, to be at peace with losing Sarah all of those years ago. He's still not able to get past that anger. This was shown to us when Tommy pulled out a picture from his backpack of Joel and Sarah after he went back home to Texas. Joel refused the picture, saying this to Tommy.
Here. It's a little faded, but it still looks pretty good.
I'm good.
You sure? I mean...
I've said I'm good.
Okay. I'll hold on to it for you.
Tommy, I need to talk to you. Privately.
Yeah, okay.
Joel was scared to love again. That's as simple as that. And that's the reason why he wanted to ship Ellie off to Tommy. Ship her off to Tommy and let him go about his ways and only have to focus about himself. Because he doesn't want to try and love someone again and lose them, like he did with Sarah. Joel was exactly the same in this situation with Ellie, and this is exactly why he wanted to give her to Tommy, for Tommy to take her and do the dirty work. As soon as Ellie found out about this, however, well, she rode off on a horse in anger. Joel and Tommy rode after Ellie, and finally found her held up in an old ranch house. This part of the story is much better listened to, so take a listen to this.
Is this really all they had to worry about? Boys, movies, deciding which shirt goes with which skirt. It's bizarre.
Get up. We're leaving.
And if I say no?
Do you even realize what your life means? Huh? Running off like that, putting yourself at risk? It's pretty goddamn stupid.
Well, I guess we're both disappointed with each other then.
What do you want from me?
Admit that you wanted to get rid of me the whole time.
Tommy knows this area
Oh,
better
fuck
than...
that.
Well, I'm sorry. I trust him better than I trust myself.
Stop with the bullshit. What are you so afraid of? That I'm gonna end up like Sam? I can't get infected. I can take care of myself.
How many close calls have we had?
Well, we seem to be doing all right so far.
And now you'll be doing even better with Tommy.
Not her, you know.
What?
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
And...
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel. But I have lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. And we are going our separate ways.
Get it together. We're not alone.
Ellie, her whole life has been passed from one person to another. She's never had a relationship with someone for long periods of time because they either get up and leave or they die. Joel was the only person that Ellie started to warm up to, that she's been around for a long enough time to trust and feel safe around him. And now Joel wants to just ship her off again to Tommy? She'd had enough. But when Ellie says to Joel, "What are you so afraid of?" it all becomes clear. Joel didn't want to go through what he has done with Sarah again with Ellie. He doesn't want to have that responsibility. He doesn't want to form that attachment or those emotions again for another daughter-like figure. That blood on his hands, he cannot get over it. Even when Ellie mentioned Sarah, Joel quickly wanted to stop her in her tracks. The pain and the loss still hurts Joel to this day, and this is the core cause of why he wanted to do his mission and pass Ellie on to someone else. They all eventually leave the ranch and jump on their horses and ride off in silence. Joel, however, on this ride back to Jackson, was doing some thinking of his own and thinking about what Ellie said during that conversation. It wasn't until Joel got to the facility did he cave and told Tommy that he would be the one taking Ellie to Colorado, to the lab. Tommy offers Joel and Ellie a place back here once they're done. And with that in mind, off they went.
Adios, little brother.
Okay, let me see if I get this straight. If you mess up your fourth down, then you give the ball to the other team?
Right, it's called turnover.
And if you clear the 10 yards, then you're back at first down?
First down, that's right.
Man, it's confusing.
You just gotta play it a couple times. It all makes sense.
This was the part of the story where Joel and Ellie's relationship went from being very caged off to them both starting to appreciate each other a lot more, especially from Joel's side. From Joel just simply explaining the rules of an NFL game to Ellie, to them having a more in-depth conversation, and Joel just sort of letting them happen. Whereas before, Joel probably would have told her to be quiet, to stop talking, or anything like that. Before, Joel was very hesitant to make conversation, to even acknowledge Ellie's interests. But Ellie really got through to Joel during that conversation, and you can really see that. Joel and Ellie explored an abandoned hospital building, and there were no fireflies in sight. However, there was an audio recording at the very top. This was from one of the doctors that was held out here. He was dead now, however it mentioned that all of the fireflies had moved to St. Mary's Hospital in Salt Lake City. Before, they were ambushed by a group of bandits. Joel and Ellie fought their way out of the lab, before Joel was ambushed and pushed over the edge of the railing, falling straight through a metal pipe, piercing straight through his torso. Joel was severely injured, with Ellie needing to pull him off of this pipe and get him on that horse. Joel only just made his way through before jumping on a horse and riding off. But he was severely injured and nearing death, losing consciousness and falling off the horse.
Oh, get up, get up, get up. You gotta tell me what to do. Come on, you gotta get up. Joel?
Ellie somehow managed to get Joel back on that horse and take him to a place to hold up. The winter was finally here, snow smothering the landscape, and Ellie hunting for food. She caught herself a rabbit, but then came across a deer. She shot and chased after the deer until finally it was dead. But she wasn't alone. A man called David and his patrolling partner James showed up out of nowhere. They're from a larger group situated around here. David seemed nice at first, offering us a trade for ammo, weapons, clothes, even medicine for the deer that we'd captured and killed. They made an agreement. Penicillin was the trade for the deer, so James went back to camp to collect it, and in the meantime, Ellie and David took shelter in a cabin. David tried his best to get Ellie's name, but she wasn't having any of it. Suddenly, however, they were ambushed by a load of infected. David and Ellie held off for a while before returning to this cabin. This part, however, I want you to listen for yourself.
Now, you see, I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Sure.
I do. And I can prove it to you. Now, this winter, that's been especially cruel. A few weeks back, I sent a group of men out to a nearby town to look for food. Only a few came back. They said that the others had been slaughtered by a crazy man. And get this, he's a crazy man traveling with a little girl. You see, everything happens for a reason. Don't get upset. It's not your fault. I'm just a kid. James, lower the gun.
No way, David. I'm not gonna let her go.
Lower the gun. Now give her the medicine.
The others won't be happy about this.
Yeah, well, that's not your concern.
Move the fuck out of the way.
You won't survive long out there. I can protect you.
No, thanks.
Ellie runs back to Joel and injects the penicillin into his torso, into the cut, and falls asleep next to him. Before being woken up the next morning to the sounds of people outside, it was David's group, searching for Ellie. They tracked her down. Ellie flees on a horse to prevent them from finding Joel. However, her horse was shot and killed, and well, she was eventually captured as well.
Relax. Keeping you alive here. There you go. There you go.
Here we learn more around what David and his group were doing. There wasn't enough food to go around, so they started harvesting human meat and feeding it to the group without them knowing.
How are you feeling?
Super.
Here. You should eat. I know you're hungry. You've been out for quite some time.
What is it?
It's deer.
With some human helping on the side?
No. No, I promise. It's just the deer meat.
You're a fucking animal.
David, however, didn't want to kill Ellie, and it became much more understandable as to why he was being so nice to her and why he hadn't killed her yet.
And you're special.
Oh.
Phoenix Knight, what's the word I'm thinking of here?
I'm getting the word... nonce.
Ellie broke David's finger, sending him back to his group with no choice but to kill her. In the meantime, however, Joel wakes up and finds the strength to stand. Ellie was nowhere to be found, by the way. Ellie was nowhere to be found in the house, so Joel followed her tracks to find her. He wasn't getting anywhere, so decided to use an old trick that he and Tommy used to do together. He would capture two bandits. He would get one of the bandits to write down one answer on paper, and the second bandit also write down an answer on paper as well, and if they matched, they were telling the truth. If they didn't, well, they were both in for it. Joel found Ellie's location through doing this and made his way there. In the meantime, however, David and his bodyguards grabbed Ellie from the cell and put her on the harvesting table, ready to kill her, before Ellie told David that she was infected. Ellie bit David's hand earlier as he pulled her out of the cell, meaning he would be infected if that was the case. This stuns David, and the other guard panics before Ellie grabs the knife and stabs the second guard. This allowed her to get away, hiding from the rest of the bandits. They were not happy with David's leadership, wanting him to be voted out because of an infected girl running around the town. Ellie finds her way inside of a pub, and just as she went to escape, there was David, locking the door behind him, the whole place going up in flames. Ellie would continue to try and attack David, before both were knocked out unconscious in that very same room. Joel, however, was trying to make his way to find Ellie, and finally finds the burning building. This is one of the more emotional parts of the story that you need to watch for yourself.
I knew you had heart. You know, it's okay to give up. Ain't no shame in it. I guess not. Just not your style, is it? You can try begging.
Fuck you.
You think you know me? Huh? Well, let me tell you something. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Stop!
Fucking touch me!
It's okay. It's me. It's me. It's me. Look. It's me.
He tried to...
Oh, baby girl. It's okay. It's okay.
Joel.
It's okay.
We now move on to the springtime. The journey to finding the hospital in Salt Lake City is still ongoing, with Ellie traumatized from what happened.
Ellie! Ellie! Did you hear me?
No. What?
Look. Hospital. This is where we get off. Let's go, kiddo.
Joel, however, has opened up much more to Ellie, offering to teach her guitar when all of this was over, engaging in conversation much more, even Ellie telling Joel about a dream that she had, and he actually wanting to know more about it, even allowing the conversation about Sarah to come up, which never would have happened 5 hours previously into the game. Just listen to the change of tone in Joel's voice in this scene right here.
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie!
And...
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
Compared
Whole damn world seemed
to this scene right
turned
here.
upside down in a blink.
Is that after you lost Sarah?
Yes, it was.
I can't imagine losing someone you love like that. Losing everything that you know. I'm sorry, Joel.
It's okay, Ellie.
Ellie even took the picture that Tommy had of Joel and Sarah and gave it to him. And this piece of dialogue that comes out of Joel's mouth here explains exactly how he's feeling and how he's felt for the entirety of the game.
Well, no matter how hard you try, I guess you can't escape your past. Thank you.
Even Ellie spotting something amazing when they get there as well, and Joel and her spending that memory and time together.
What are you doing?
It's all right. Come here, come here. Hey, hurry up. Come on.
Hey there.
Joel is really starting to build a bond, and man, I'm so here for it. Joel and Ellie make their way through a flooded tunnel. As they set foot on a bus, it collapsed and they were both sent flying through a bunch of water rapids. Ellie, of course, can't swim, so was unconscious underwater. Joel, however, pulled her out, and he came face to face with a patrol of guards. He didn't stop pumping and trying to resuscitate Ellie despite the guards telling him to stop. Because of that, he was knocked out.
Hands in the air! She's not breathing. Hands in the fucking air! Come on.
Joel woke a short time later on a hospital bed, Marlene in one corner and a guard in the other. Listen to this.
Welcome to the Fireflies. Sorry about that. They didn't know who you were.
And Ellie?
She's all right. They brought her back. You came all this way. How'd you do it?
It was her. She fought like hell to get here. Maybe it was meant to be.
I lost most of my crew crossing the country. I pretty much lost everything. And then you show up, and somehow we find you just in time to save her. Maybe it was meant to be.
Take me to her.
You don't have to worry about her anymore. We'll take care
I
of her.
worry. Just let me see her, please.
You can't. She's being prepped for surgery.
The hell do you mean, surgery?
The doctors tell me the cordyceps, the growth inside her, has somehow mutated. It's why she's immune. Once they remove it, they'll be able to reverse engineer a vaccine. A vaccine.
But it grows all over the brain.
It does.
Find someone else.
There is no one else.
Listen, you were gonna show me where...
Stop. I get it. But whatever it is you think you're going through right now is nothing to what I have been through. I knew her since she was born. I promised your mother I would look after her.
Then why are you letting this happen?
Because this isn't about me, or even her. There is no other choice here.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that bullshit.
March him out of here. He tries anything, shoot him. Don't waste this gift, Joel.
Get up. I said get up. Go on. Move. I said move. Give me an excuse. Which way?
The fuck you doing? Keep walking.
I said keep walking. Where was the operating room? I ain't got time for this. Where? Where? Top floor, the far end.
Joel had one goal: to get Ellie out of there. She's not dying. He won't let them kill her to take another daughter-like figure from his life. Joel bursts into the operating room.
Jesus.
Doctor? What are you doing in here? I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
Kills the doctor and runs off with Ellie.
No! Fucking animal! Carrie, shut the hell up!
Come on, baby girl. I got you. I got you. Oh, shit. I said get back! Hey, come on. Stop!
You can't save her. Even if you get her out of here, then what? How long before she's torn to pieces by a pack of clickers? That is, if she hasn't been raped and murdered first.
It ain't for you to decide.
It's what she'd want. And you know it. Look. You can still do the right thing here. She won't feel anything.
What the hell am I wearing?
Just take it easy. Drugs are still wearing off.
What happened?
We found the fireflies. Turns out there's a whole lot more like you, Ellie. People that are immune. There's dozens, actually. Ain't done 'em a damn bit of good, neither. They've stopped looking for a cure. I'm taking us home. I'm sorry.
Wait! Let me go. Please.
You just come after her.
The ending of The Last of Us Part 1 always makes me really appreciate how good the writing was. Whenever you've done something bad to someone, or not telling them something that's so heart-crushing it could ruin your relationship with them, you overcompensate on kindness. Joel here is doing exactly that. He is so nice to Ellie towards the end of the game, overcompensating because of the guilt that he has inside. He knows for a fact that Ellie would have wanted to stay there and sacrifice herself. But Joel knows if Ellie ever knew about that, if she ever knew what happened that night, the relationship that he'd only just built, those doors he'd only just opened, would all be closed again. And he wasn't risking that.
Alright, now watch your head going through.
Here, I got it.
Feeling my age now. Don't think I ever told you, but Sarah and I used to take hikes like this. I think the two of you would have been good friends. I think you really would have liked her. I know she'd have liked you.
I bet I would have.
Oh. We're down there. Just a little bit further now. All right, come on.
Hey, wait. Back in Boston, back when I was bitten, I wasn't alone. My best friend was there, and she got bit too. We didn't know what to do. So, she says, let's just wait it out. You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
You don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you... No matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you've said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
That was part one of the story. A masterpiece, an incredible piece of storytelling, and I loved every single second I played it. The director of The Last of Us Part 1, Neil Druckmann, did something very sneaky, however, towards the end of the game. This wasn't in the game, but it was in a live show that they put on. Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog organised a live screening for a bunch of lucky fans, where the actors reenacted specific scenes throughout the game. And at the end, he cut the live stream off, and the only people that saw this final scene were the ones in that room. And what was that? It was the opening scene to The Last of Us Part 2. A very sneaky little hint here of an additional game coming. But Part 2, as controversial as it is, I think has an even better and more interesting story. Let's talk about it. The Last of Us Part 2 takes what Part 1 did so well with its story and decides to traumatise every fan of the series in one go. But Part 2 is much more than that. Naughty Dog wanted the player to feel that way, not just from the start of the game, but the entirety of the game, and it was intentionally done that way. The way that Joel was brutally murdered by Abby, the reaction of Ellie watching it happen and unfold, the sheer hatred you feel towards Abby at the time, it builds you up. It makes you want to find Abby and her group and do the same thing that they did to Joel, but 10 times worse. But then Naughty Dog do something that completely turns you on your head. You play as Abby for probably just under half of the game, and throughout this time you see from her perspective why she did what she did. Many video game stories would probably only tell you this from a cutscene, from some dialogue from an NPC, a note that you find around the world, or something along those lines. The Last of Us Part 2 allows you to play as Abby as a younger kid with her dad. Learn that he's the only doctor available within the Fireflies that can develop this cure. Learn that he's the only doctor left that can develop the cure. See how much of a good guy he was and how close him and Abby were. And that Joel really probably didn't need to kill him. And since that day, Abby and the rest of the Fireflies wanted revenge on Joel. She trained and trained as a child, even at times sacrificing relationships to ensure that she didn't miss training so that when the day came, she's ready to fight against Joel. Which is why she's so muscly. A fantastic touch by Naughty Dog there. Abby's character was one I hated, but now is one I've really come to appreciate, which I never ever thought I would say. Listening and knowing the plot of the game without playing it is one thing, but playing the game and actually appreciating the character's development throughout is another. Anyone who hurt Joel and Ellie for me was the absolute enemy, but learning Abby's reasoning completely changed the way I approach. Anyone would do the same. As I mentioned to you earlier, Neil Druckmann mentioned that part 1 of the story was about love and finding it again. Part 2 of the story was about revenge, but with a throughput of love going through the centre, keeping both games intertwined. However, without jabbering on anymore, let's dive straight into part 2 of the story.
I don't know what happened. I was supposed to take her to the Fireflies and walk away. You go halfway across the country with someone. She needed her immunity to mean something. Maybe I was starting to buy into that old cure business. Maybe I just wanted to do right by her. And then we made it. We found the Firefly. Because of her, they were actually going to make a cure. The only catch, it would kill her. Sweet Jesus.
Doctor? What are you doing? I won't let you take her. This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
Jesus Christ, Joel. What do you do?
I saved her.
Cover the exit. Don't let him get away.
God damn. That's so. That's a lot. What does Ellie know?
I told her they just ran some tests. I told her her immunity meant nothing.
And she believed you?
I didn't say otherwise.
We should head back.
The Last of Us Part 2. The game begins with Joel polishing a guitar in an abandoned house on patrol with Tommy just outside of Jackson. Joel finally told Tommy about what happened back in Seattle. Joel fell in love, started to love Ellie like a daughter, one that he lost in the past. Ellie was the hope humanity needed to bring them back and remove the infected from the world once and for all. But Joel couldn't get past one thing: Ellie dying as a result of that. Joel murdered nurses and the doctor whilst picking Ellie up from the table and sprinting out of the hospital. Tommy was in shock. There was a lot of information to take in, and well, he asked, what does Ellie know? Joel told her that her immunity meant nothing. Joel and Tommy make their way back to Jackson, and Tommy mentions to Joel before they go inside that he'll take this secret to the grave if he has to. It was at this point, however, that we rewind.
Hello? Ellie?
Jesus. Almost gave me a heart attack.
I tried knocking, but
Hey,
hey,
what's up, Joel?
just checking in. Folks are, talking about how impressed they are with you and how well you're helping out.
It's good.
Yeah. Tommy and I went out riding the other day, and he told me a joke, and I thought about you. It's oh shoot, now I forgot it. Something about a clock. How do you?
Joel, it's pretty late and I gotta get up in a few hours.
Yeah. I know. I'm gonna get out of your hair. Just, I want to show you something. Just give me 1 second.
What's this?
Some folks call this thing here a guitar.
Funny.
You want to hear something?
Okay.
Okay. Promise me that you won't laugh.
I won't laugh. I won't.
I'm trusting you. If I ever were to lose you, I'd surely lose myself. Everything I have found here, I'm not found by myself. Try and sometimes you'll succeed to make this man of me. All my stolen missing parts I've no need for any more, 'cause I believe, and I believe 'cause I can see our future days, days of you and me. There you go.
Well, that didn't suck.
I'll take what I can get. She's yours.
No. No. I don't know the first thing
I
about
promised that I'd teach you how to play.
You did.
So what do you say, tomorrow night, first lesson?
Deal.
Okay. Okay.
Do you remember the joke?
What is the downside to eating a clock? It's time consuming.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. Good night, kiddo.
"4 years later, Ellie gets out of bed to a knock at the door. It's Jesse, Ellie's late reporting to her patrol, so he gets her up. A party took place the previous night, and well, Ellie kissed a girl named Dina. This was Jesse's ex. They'd only been broken up for about a week, and when he asked Ellie about the rough night that she had last night, judging from the look of her not actually knowing what happened, he wasn't talking about the kiss.
Oh. I thought this...
We're broken up 1 week and you make a move on my girl?
No. She was probably just trying to make you jealous. I would never... Fuck, this is awkward.
I'm messing with you, man. I don't care. Get dressed.
You're the worst.
It's kind of fucked up you did that.
After a joke around, they made their way into town and met with Maria, Tommy's wife. Seth, however, was someone there that made a comment yesterday towards Ellie and Dina after they'd kissed. Maria, however, made Seth apologise for this comment, but Ellie didn't really care, even offering her steak sandwich that Seth had cooked her as an apology straight to Jesse. Tommy and Joel were already out on patrol, but they've been out there a while. Dina and Ellie are on the creek trails together, and after last night, that was a secret bonus for Ellie. However, we then move to the perspective of our other main character in this story, the antagonist/protagonist, Abby. Abby was here for one reason and one reason only, to find Joel. She was here with a small group, all helping her in this personal vendetta that she had, and well, her ex-boyfriend Owen might have just found what they were looking for, but it was much bigger than any of them had imagined. Owen wanted to turn back around, saying it was too much, and with his current partner Mel being pregnant, well, he didn't want to risk it. Abby, however, wasn't having any of this, and decided to go in on her own, seeing a cabin on in the distance with lights all inside, with the aim of finding someone inside who may know who Joel is and his whereabouts. Abby went alone, as the storm began to get worse. Now, back to the perspective of Ellie. She and Dina would go to the different patrol routes and clear any infected, until the storm began to pick up there too. Dina took them to a hideout that was owned by someone named Eugene, an ex-Firefly Dina would always patrol with in the past. Underneath this room, however, was a secret room, full of the good stuff. Dina and Ellie finally had some time to themselves, so they made it worth their while, whilst the storm was really bad.
Oh, fuck it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I got it open, didn't I?
Smells good.
I mean, when we stuck here a while, right?
Totally trapped.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't know, can you?
Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, like, absolute trash. And 10 being life-altering. How would you rate our kiss from last night?
Why are we still talking about this? You said it was a mistake.
Did I say that?
What are you doing?
I asked you to rate our kiss.
I don't know.
I give it a 6.
A 6? Wow.
Like a solid 6.
Okay.
There are a lot of people around.
Yeah, but 6.
Oh, what? I mean, now I really want to know how you'd rate it. I don't think you do.
Getting much, much worse. And she was suddenly ambushed by a series of infected. Abby was sprinting out of there, trying to get away, and then, by pure luck,
We're gonna have to run! Come on in! I'll cover you! Get going! Come on, this way!
as if by magic, Joel and Tommy appear and save Abby's life. They get overrun, and Abby tells them about their friends being held up in a lodge nearby. Especially after Abby knew who they were, it was the perfect way to lure them in. They all finally get there on their horses. And, well, take a look for yourselves.
This is my brother.
Joe. Y'all act like you heard of us or something.
Because they have.
Laura, all clear?
He's out. Put him against the wall.
Tommy! Get off me! Get off me!
Puta madre.
Joel Miller.
Who are you?
Guess.
Why don't you say whatever speech you got rehearsed? Get this over with.
Tourniquet his leg. Do it.
Don't you fucking move.
God! Damn it!
Clear out. You stupid old man. You don't get to rush this.
Jesse finds Dina and Ellie and tells them that Joel and Tommy are missing. They get dressed quickly and make their way to the patrol area, where Ellie finds the house. Ellie makes her way inside. She can hear the faint screams of Joel from downstairs. When she opened the door, she was faced with her worst nightmare.
Pin her down! Get off me! Get her hands! Get the fuck off me!
Bitch! You got her! Look, you got her! Okay?
You're gonna fucking die!
What's going on?
Let him go.
Who is that?
Let him
She
go!
snuck in.
Why aren't you posted up outside?
We didn't think anyone was gonna show up.
The hell did you expect? We gotta get out of here before the whole town's on top of us. You're done.
You want what I want, right?
End it. Now.
Joel, get up. Joel, fucking get up. Please stop. Please don't shoot. Joel, please get up. No! No! Fucking kill you! Fucking kill you! No! Ellie. I'm sorry.
Jesse! They're down here!
That night, Abby and her friends left and went back to their camp, whilst Ellie, Tommy and others didn't know what to do with themselves.
Hey.
Hey.
Could I sit down, please?
Yeah.
Ellie was adamant that she was leaving first thing tomorrow to find them, but Tommy, however, persuaded her not to do that just yet, before he spoke with Maria. The following morning, however, Ellie and Dina went into Joel's home to collect a few belongings, to keep as keepsakes. The watch that Sarah fixed and gave to Joel for his birthday, and of course his revolver. Even taking the time to search the house and look at the leftover clothes in the closet. Maria, however, knew they'd been planning to leave, so she surprised them downstairs, basically saying that Tommy had already left in the middle of the night to find Abby and the group, and to kill them. Ellie and Dina were also going, so that's exactly what they did. They walk about a large open area looking for fuel canisters to power a generator to open the larger gate, until Ellie came across a music store and finds a guitar. Skip to this section on the screen now if you don't want to hear this, but man, this is such a good rendition of the song, and it's such a nice chilled out moment in what can be an extremely hectic game. Along the way, Ellie and Dina find traces of Tommy being here, 2 members of Abby's group murdered. Tommy used a tactic to find out where they went, capture 2 people and tell them both to write down where Abby's location was on this piece of paper. If they were both different answers, you'd know that they were lying. But if they are lying, then you beat them to death until one of them gives you the right answer. However, a short time later, they were both ambushed on their horse and captured. There was Jordan. This was the guy from earlier that wanted to kill Ellie. Dina, however, was able to get away, and only Ellie was captured. Until a man came into the room. This man wanted to kill Ellie, but Jordan wanted to question her.
Out of my way.
Dina!
Until suddenly, Dina shot the man, killed him, and fell through the glass. Jordan walked over to her and started strangling Dina when Ellie found a piece of broken glass, broke herself free, and killed Jordan. They managed to find their way out of there and found a series of pictures of all of the group. The TV station was the last known location of the group, but when they got there, nothing. They had to escape and find somewhere to hold up until they came across an old, abandoned theatre. Ellie, however, noticed that Dina wasn't acting herself. She wasn't well at all. Until Dina broke the news.
Here. Got it? Alright, we're good. Come on. You want to tell me what's going on with you?
What's going on with me? Ellie, I just saw you breathe spores.
I told you. I'm immune.
Okay, you're immune? Come on.
I was bitten a long time ago.
The fuck are you talking about?
I was bitten and nothing happened.
The chemical burn.
Maria and Tommy and Joel are the only ones who know. Knew. Now you know. I can't get you infected if that's what you're worried about. I can't make you immune either. Say something.
Ellie. I think I'm pregnant.
What?
Don't worry, it's not yours.
What are we supposed to do now?
Nothing. I just need to rest for a second.
Are you fucking kidding me? How long have you known?
It was late a few weeks ago.
A few weeks? We could have still turned back.
Well, I didn't know. I wasn't sure, okay? I didn't want to be a burden.
Well, you're a burden now, aren't you? Make sure this place is secured. You just rest.
This threw a spanner in the works. With Dina now pregnant, Ellie has another thing to worry about: her girlfriend's overall safety. Ellie checks over the theatre and makes sure it's safe, and here, well, when she falls asleep, she has a flashback.
It's starting to sound like something.
Ugh, I suck.
Just need to build up your calluses, that's all.
Man.
All right, come on.
Is this it?
Yeah?
Oh, shit.
Joel once took her to an abandoned museum showing space memorabilia and dinosaurs. A really good character building scene that shows Joel's love and appreciation for Ellie, going out of his way to scout the area in advance and bringing her here. It was a really fun section of the game to play through. And then, suddenly, Dina hears reports of a young
Whoa.
After you. Watch your head.
Whoa. What the heck?
Oh! Okay. Wow.
Wow.
As you look at all these buttons.
Oh, it's so badass. Man. Could you imagine just...
Happy birthday, kiddo.
What is this?
This is a thing that took a mighty effort to find. Take it. Close your eyes. It'll be worth it.
Okay.
Seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
I do okay.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You're welcome, kiddo.
Ellie wakes and finds Dina, and then Dina hears reports of a young male trespasser near one of the checkpoints. So Ellie decides to make her way there, thinking that this was Tommy. However, when Ellie gets there, suddenly...
What the hell are you doing here?
I think I'd let you do this on your own.
Jesse,
Where's Dina?
she's safe. She's just sick.
What kind of sick?
She's fine.
Christ, there's a lot of them.
Hey, how hurt are you?
I'll be okay. Your friends out there rushed me. No warning, no nothing.
Tell me you didn't come alone.
Give me shit about it later.
He's here for the same reason as we are, to help us find Abby and to make sure that we're all safe. Ellie returns to the theatre with Jesse, and the three of them plot what's going on next. Ellie, however, gets some rest and has another flashback dream about an adventure with Joel and Tommy. However, when they walked into a room towards the end of the adventure, they find two bodies. This was a couple that fled Jackson last year and were dead.
Ellie!
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Joel.
Huh?
I think it's them. The couple that ran away last year.
I think you're right.
Jackson is a wonderful place, but we got tired of hearing the stories of people suffering everywhere else. We wanted to save lives. We had good intentions. We didn't make it an hour before running into a horde. Now we're bitten. We've decided we're gonna end our lives instead of turning. Please tell our family and friends that we're sorry. Love, Adam and Sydney. I shot her. I can't take my own life. I'm a fucking coward. Adam.
Jesus.
If only they were immune, right?
Well, let's go get Tommy and we can get these bodies back to Jackson. Yeah.
After you took me out of the Firefly Hospital, you said there were dozens of people like me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they told me.
I've never met another immune person before. Have you?
I could be hiding it. You do.
Do you believe that?
Is now really the time for this?
We traveled across the entire country to bring me to the Fireflies. I had so many questions for them. Why did you pull me out of there while I was still unconscious?
Because I let them run their tests. And when I saw that they were useless, I got us out of there.
How do you know they were useless? Maybe if you just would have given them more time, they could have figured something out.
There was no cure. There's nothing that could help these people or anybody else. I know you wish things were different. I wish things were different. But they ain't. And we need to get these kids back to their families. Is there something else you'd like to rehash?
No.
Good. Come on.
Ellie, however, wakes up and hears on the radio of one of the group members being held up in a hospital nearby, Nora. Ellie made her way to the hospital. She was here for Abby, but she wasn't there, only Nora, and Nora wouldn't tell Ellie where she was, until she said this.
You still hear his screams?
What?
I hear them every night. Yeah, that little bitch got what he deserved.
You fucking...
Nora sprint out of the room with Ellie following close behind until they got to a dead end with spores below. They didn't know Ellie's immune, so when Ellie pulled them both down into the spore-filled room, it shocked Nora and the guards. Nora escaped, but Ellie followed the coughing. When she found Nora, however, she wasn't in the best state. Ellie broke Nora's arm, asking where Abby is. But when Nora sees Ellie breathing the spores, she immediately knew who she was. There was only one option left.
Because I can make it quick. Or I can make it so much worse.
Think about what he did. How many people are dead because of him?
It's your last chance.
I'm not giving up, my friend.
Ellie made her way back to the theatre, shaking, covered in blood.
It's me. Ellie.
Dina opened the door and Ellie was not in a fit state of mind at all.
Are you okay?
Christ. Is that your blood?
Ellie was so fixed on finding Abby, it was taking over her life.
She's hiding out in this aquarium. Okay. Come on. Let's get you cleaned up.
She was so set on revenge that it was ruining her life at that time. Looking at what she was putting herself through for the sake of revenge. For finding this one single person. Things she did to get answers. Things that Ellie never thought she would ever do.
Arms up.
I made her talk. It's okay. I don't want to lose you.
Ellie, however, fell asleep and had another dream, this time a flashback from 2 years ago. Ellie had always been suspicious that Joel wasn't telling her the truth, and well, she decided to go to Seattle, to the hospital, and have a look for herself. Ellie finds a recording from a Firefly that changed everything for her.
Most people have left already. I don't know which group I'm gonna join. I was one of the ones that wanted to go after the smuggler and the girl. They said, even if we found her or by some miracle found someone else that's immune, it made no difference. Because the only person who could develop a vaccine is dead. Or by some miracle found someone else that's immune. It made no difference. Found someone else that's immune. It made no difference. Because the only person...
Ellie!
Come here. What the hell were you thinking? Running off in the middle of the night like that. You talk to me. You don't just leave me a goddamn note.
Tell me what happened here. If you lie to me one more time, I'm gone. You will never see me again. But if you tell me the truth, I'll go back to Jackson. No matter what it is. Joel.
Making a vaccine would have killed you. So I stopped them.
Oh my God. Don't you fucking touch me! I'll go back. But we're done.
Ellie wakes up here and breaks to Jesse that Dina is pregnant. And well, it's his baby. Dina needs to go back, but she won't leave and go back to Jackson if Ellie doesn't come with her. Ellie, however, can't leave without Tommy. So Jesse decides to go with Ellie, find Tommy together so that they can find Abby, or find Tommy so they can all go back to Jackson together. They make their way through the crumbling city and through the rapids downtown, where Ellie is so fixated on Abby, she decides to split from Jesse to go straight to the aquarium where she's being held up. It was during this time the guards were talking about a lone male presence being hunted, and this was definitely Tommy. So, Ellie went to find Abby, and Jesse split and went to find Tommy. Ellie, however, makes her way inside the aquarium. And what happens next is something that Ellie would have never wanted to happen.
Shit. Stupid dog.
People don't come back from that island.
How many times has Abby risked her life for you?
She chose this. I'm not fucking going there.
Then don't! Go back.
Fuck you, Owen. Hands up. Where's Abby?
You're that girl from Jackson.
Tell me where she went.
How do we know you won't kill us?
Give her what she wants and we're dead.
You guys can survive this. I just need her.
Bullshit.
You. Come here. Fucking get over here! Point to where she is on this map. And then you. It better fucking match up.
What are you doing?
She's probably dead anyway.
It is not worth it.
Stop!
We can talk
Back
about
the fuck up!
Point to where she is.
Fucking point!
Tell me where Abby is. Where the fuck is she?
Whoa. Hey.
It's all right. Come on, let's go. Let's go. It's all right.
Ellie was brought home by Tommy and Jesse and woke up next to Dina. She stood up, however, and made her way outside to speak with Jesse and Tommy about what's to come next. And well, Ellie was comfortable with just going back to Jackson, despite not finding Abby, and that was because for the good of Dina. This was a tough sell for Tommy and Ellie, but for the good of Dina and Jesse, it was the best thing to do. However, as Tommy left the theatre showroom, Ellie and Jesse heard a scuffle come from the lobby, so they sprang to the door, and then Jesse was shot there and then by Abby, with Tommy unable to move.
I shoot this one too.
Don't you do it, Ellie. Get out of here.
Stand up now.
Don't you fucking dare.
Shut the fuck up. Fuck. All right. Stop. Stop.
Toss your weapon.
Toss your weapon. Fuck.
No.
I know why you killed Joel. He did what he did to save me. There is no cure because of me. I am the one that you want. Just let him go.
You killed my friends. We let you both live. And you wasted it.
This part of the story was the biggest surprise to people when they first played the game.
Dad? Dad? Dad?
Naughty Dog wanted to really capture both sides of the story and show both perspectives to the player. Abby killed Joel, but had her reason for doing so. Her motivation stemmed from what Joel did, and not only Ellie, but Abby also seeked revenge since a little girl. Throughout Abby's story, we learned more about her as a younger girl, her relationship with her boyfriend, Owen at the time, and of course her father, Jerry, a doctor for the Fireflies, the only one that could develop a cure. Throughout this portion, we see the events unfold as we'd expect, but this time from the perspective of a daughter of the doctor that Joel murdered. The revenge that she wanted for her dad's death, but not only that, the cure he was going to make could have saved many of her friends, family and loved ones' lives. Abby is a part of a group called the WLF, Wolf, as you would say. A group so large it's almost like a small army. They command many points across the city, with the stadium being their main base. They, similar to the people of Jackson, go out on patrols, scouting areas and clearing infected. But they're also not the only ones out there. They're at war with a group called the Scars, or officially known as the Seraphites. These were a group that mostly believed in going back to the Stone Age, not using electricity and essentially starting from fresh. Not using any old world tech as they call it, and living in huts, using bow and arrows, fire as warmth. You get the picture. There are a couple of exceptions here and there, like they'll use electricity and lifts for their sky bridges, but that's mostly to remain undetected by the WLF, but we'll get to that shortly. Abby and her friend Manny return from patrol and visit the leader of the WLF, Isaac. Owen, Abby's ex-boyfriend, was missing. He went MIA. He apparently killed one of the people that he was on patrol with, and hasn't returned since. Abby wants to go after him, to find him, to see what happened, because she doesn't believe that he did it on purpose. But Isaac wasn't having any of it. Isaac was planning on an assault on the Scars the next morning, and Abby needed to be there. He needed Abby's help to do this. She agreed. He left the room, but she wasn't satisfied. Manny agreed to help Abby sneak out of the WLF facility to find Owen, and well, she'll return before Isaac knows she was gone. However, in the meantime, Abby falls asleep, and during this time we see a flashback. Abby knows where Owen would go, and this flashback shows exactly that, the aquarium. We can see just from this scene that Abby doesn't want to take a single day off from training. She's preparing for the day that she comes face to face with Joel, and that is her motivation. Even here, when they get inside the aquarium, they share an intimate moment together, and her rage and motivation inside, the want to find Joel, the thought that if she takes one single day off, that could be the difference between winning and losing against Joel, that doesn't let her rest. Abby wakes and follows Manny to the exit. Abby makes her way towards the aquarium, but was ambushed along the way, completely knocked out, and taken to a forest by a bunch of Scars. Abby was hung by a noose, with only a bucket to rest her tiptoes on. This Scar pulled out a knife and lifted up Abby's vest, ready to cut her stomach open. However, just as she was about to slice, two guards brought a young girl named Yara before her, and well, she told her to clip her wings. This meant breaking both of her arms. The guard bashed her left arm with a hammer until it was completely broken. However, before the guard could do the right arm, an arrow flew straight into the guard's head. Abby helped kill the woman by holding her as Yara bashed her, and eventually, a young Scar named Lev came out of the bushes and was instructed by Yara to cut Abby down. The three of them were in trouble, as they were surrounded by infected from every single angle. They all ran out of there and found refuge inside a trailer, and when Yara showed her arm, it wasn't looking good. Abby tried to set her arm and used a length of wood to ensure that it was kept straight, and well, leaves them both to it. Abby makes her way to the aquarium as she was set to do in the first place, and well, there was Owen. Owen had a dream to move to Santa Barbara. He was sick of the war between the WLF and also the Scars or the Seraphites. He was out on patrol with someone. He was going to kill a bunch of Seraphites for no reason whatsoever, and Owen, well, wanted to leave them. So they got into a kerfuffle, and well, one thing led to another, and that's why Owen killed or severely injured the person he was on patrol with. This is the final straw for Owen. He doesn't want to be a part of the WLF and mindlessly killing these other people. So he wanted to move to a place in Santa Barbara because there's rumours that the Fireflies are regrouping there. And well, that's his overall goal. However, things got a little bit heated between the two of them.
Cut into them? I could torture them until they're crying, you know? Abby.
Abby had a dream, however, when they fell asleep, took her back to that night. But it was slightly different this time. Abby woke up thinking about Yara and Lev. She couldn't leave them. She had to go back and check on them both. When she got there, however, Yara was not in a good state. She couldn't move, and she was dying. Abby took both of them back to the aquarium, shouting for Owen. As they walked around the corner, Owen's current girlfriend Mel was also there, who was, luckily enough, a surgeon. She took a look at Yara's arm, and well, she had compartment syndrome. This means the arm needs to come off, else if it turns gangrenous, she could die. Mel didn't have the supplies to do it there and then, and walking to the WLF hospital could take days. Yara doesn't have days. However, Lev mentioned that the Scars built bridges, as we mentioned earlier, to get around the flooding and the WLF, and this is how they'll get there in just 2 hours. It was during this time that we learnt a lot about Abby and also about Lev. We start to see the two of them form a bit of a bond together. Lev starts getting more personal with Abby, asking her questions that no one else could get away with, such as her and Owen, her and Mel, and how awkward it was between them. Even with Abby asking why Lev was on the run, and well, it was because she shaved her head. She didn't believe her at first and thought that Lev was joking around, but this is actually true. Lev is transgender. She was meant to be married off as a wife to someone back in the Scar camp, but she shaved her head because she didn't want to be represented as that anymore. And that's why people are chasing after Lev. She shaved her head because she wanted to feel more masculine, and well, that was a problem for the Seraphites. After two of them made their way to the hospital, Abby walked through the front gates and told the guard that she was here on Isaac's orders. However, when they checked with Isaac, they told her that Abby went AWOL 2 days ago. So they chained her up and waited until the cargo was leaving to also take Abby back to the camp. However, there she sees Nora, who comes and helps her free. Abby tells Nora that she was getting supplies for Owen, not a Seraphite. So Nora releases Abby and tells Abby that she needs to go to the very bottom of the hospital to find these supplies, because most of them have been boxed up and sent back already. This hospital was one of the main hospitals when the outbreak first started, so this first floor will have some of the very first infected on there. It hasn't been cleared or looked at in a very long time, so Abby must be very careful. Abby finally found what she was looking for after dealing with a horrifying beast, and she made her way back to the aquarium. The operation was a success. Yara was alive. Mel, however, wasn't impressed with Abby. As we mentioned earlier, Owen had the idea of going to Santa Barbara and bringing Lev, Yara, Mel, and Abby with him. But there was only one problem. Mel is going, and so are the two kids, but Mel will not go if Abby goes. Mel knows why Abby's going, why she's here in general, because she still has feelings for Owen, and she wants to try and get in between Owen and Mel. Lev and Yara, however, had an argument. They need to walk around the aquarium and try and find Lev. However, as they go outside, Lev was on a boat going back to camp, trying to persuade their mother to go with them. The only issue with this is, and it's very much against Lev's decision to shave his head, kill Lev if she sees him again. They make their way onto the Seraphite Island, and Isaac has sent soldiers to infiltrate the Scars camp. Isaac wanted full control. He wanted the Scars wiped out for good. So Abby and Yara didn't have a lot of time. However, Abby and Yara found Lev in their home with their mother dead.
This is the one.
Just try talking to her.
I tried to make her understand. But she just kept yelling. She started chasing me. I tried to make her stop. I was just pushing her off of me. She hit the table.
Listen, you were defending yourself. You did nothing wrong. It's gonna be okay, I promise.
I want to leave.
Yeah, me too. Come on.
Hey, kid.
The mother just didn't understand and wouldn't understand either. Chasing after Lev, trying to pin him down and kill him. So there was only one thing Lev could do. However, as the three of them made their way through the jungle, they ran into someone unexpected.
No sign of them. This way.
Got one!
Yara! Yara, get up! Yara, please!
We need to move.
Come on! I can't leave her here! Stay back! Drop it! Now!
Oh, shit.
It's Abby! Stay back!
Stand down.
Isaac.
What the hell are you doing?
I need you to hear me out.
What's that behind you?
He saved my life.
Move out of the way. We'll deal with you back home.
He's not one of them, please.
Abby, move.
God damn it, he's just a kid!
You have 3 seconds to get away from that scar. 1.
You really gonna shoot me?
2.
I'm not fucking moving.
No! What the fuck?
Don't let him escape!
Love, we need to move. She's gone. Oh my god, she's gone. Love, come on. Those were your fucking people. You're my people. Listen to me. We're gonna have to fight to get out of this, okay? And then I need you to show us to those boats. We don't let anybody stop us. Yeah? Okay. Okay.
Yara was killed saving Abby and Lev. They need to make their way to the boats and get the hell off this island. They finally did it, getting one of the last remaining boats and rowed their way back to the aquarium. However, as they entered the aquarium, no Owen, no Mel, no one. As Abby walked further on into the aquarium, their dog Alice, dead, and blood covering the ground. When she sees Mel and Owen, both murdered. Abby, however, found a map on the floor, one highlighting key areas of interest around the city. This map, of course, belonged to Ellie.
do when we find him.
Just figure out how to get in first.
And of course, this is where we fast forward to present day. Abby grabs Tommy, Lev holds his bow locked onto Tommy, and well, in comes Jesse and Ellie. Jesse shot and killed, Ellie, hands in the air. A fight broke out and Abby shot Tommy in the head, letting Ellie get away. Abby chases Ellie through the theatre, scrapping with her, trying to kill each other, with even Abby hiding from Ellie, who had a gun, and she was unarmed. However, Abby finally got the better of Ellie, and in came Dina.
Stop! She had nothing to do with this. She's pregnant. Good.
Abby.
Don't ever let me see you again. Come on.
Abby left with Lev, leaving Ellie and Dina lay on the theatre floor. We fast forward to an unknown amount of time later, to Ellie, Dina, and the little one, all in a farmhouse, in an extremely scenic place. Ellie takes the baby downstairs, and there was Dina,
by putting on some
doing
music.
the dishes.
Yeah, I'll see what I
Ellie
can
puts
do.
on a bit of music, and the three of them, well, they have a little bit of a dance,
These
like
moves?
one
Yeah.
happy family.
Ooh, look at Mama go. Oh, wow. Ooh. Oh, hello.
This is kind of working on me.
You're weird.
I'm aware.
Okay. Okay, you're distracting me. No. Okay, all right.
Naughty Dogs did such an incredible job of the scenery in this game. I could literally sit here all day and stare at this view. But it isn't just that. They've done this on purpose, because it resembles that after all the trauma that they'd gone through, they'd always pictured and said they wanted to have a farmhouse in the countryside, grow their own crops, do their own thing like they're doing right now. And this scene right here, it resembles blissfulness. It resembles the characters relaxing, retiring, if that's the right word for it, but a time in their life where they can sit back and don't have to be worried anymore. That is exactly what this scene is representing.
Got a lot of stories to tell you. When you're older. Much older. I don't even know where to begin. All right, little Spud. We should go check on Mama.
Ellie wanders back inside the house, and in the backyard, there was Dina. Ellie and the little man go together and herd the sheep into the barn when Ellie noticed one of them was missing, and as she approached that sheep, flashbacks.
Come on, little dude. Come on, little guy. Do you want to eat?
You're home. You're home. Breathe, breathe.
I
Okay,
can't.
I'm gonna take him, okay? Come on. Come here, sweetie. Come here. Sorry. I don't know what... I was just bringing in the... It's okay.
This is why this scene in particular was done so purposefully by Naughty Dog, because it goes to show that no matter how bliss your surroundings are, how peaceful your surroundings are, you cannot hide and run away from the past. And that is exactly what's happened. Ellie can never hide or run away from the past, no matter how blissful, no matter how incredible her surroundings are. You could sit there all day and be as happy as Larry, but it just takes that one thought, that one thing to remind Ellie of what happened and the one thing that she didn't do, and that's finish the job. She's never going to be able to rest. A few days later, Ellie was out hunting for food, and when she returned back to the house, they had a visitor. As she entered, that visitor was Tommy. He survived the gunshot to the head, which, you know what? Fair play. This was playing on Ellie's mind. She couldn't stop thinking about what Tommy said. What she said when she returned to Jackson. What she promised Tommy.
So I've been putting out feelers for months now. And this new guy heard my story. He told me about a woman that he traded with while he was moving through California. Described her as built like an ox, traveling with a kid with scars across his face. He said they're living along this coast in a beach sailboat right here. That's gotta be her.
We're done with that, Sarah.
I'm sorry.
Well, I can't go.
I know.
All right. Reckon it's easy. Forget about her. You sitting all comfy way out here?
Hey.
I'll make her pay.
Tommy.
That's what you said when we got back to Jackson.
Tommy.
What a joke.
Can you take him, please?
Yeah. Here. I got you. I got you.
Hey, what the fuck was that?
Nothing.
God damn it, Tommy, you know what we've been
I'll save it. She made me a promise.
I don't fucking care.
I know you don't, dear. That's your goddamn problem.
Listen to me.
For your whole fucking years.
You don't come back to my house ever.
Ellie couldn't sleep. Ellie's having nightmares, visions. And what Tommy said really resonated with her.
Don't.
Get the hell out of here.
Get your hands off me.
Hey! Enough.
Come on, you. Let's go for a walk.
What about them?
You worry about yourself.
Let's get you some fresh air.
You all right, kiddo?
What is wrong with you?
He had no right.
And you do? I don't need your fucking help, Joel.
Right.
Ellie tried to sneak out without Dina noticing in the middle of the night, but it of course didn't work that way.
Hey.
Hey.
Man, it's been a while since he slept this long, huh?
He had a day.
Yeah. He's fine. Go back to bed. We'll talk about it in the morning, okay?
I have to finish it.
You don't owe Tommy anything.
I don't sleep. I don't eat. I'm not like you, Dina.
What? You think this is easy? For you and for him, I deal with it.
I love you.
Prove it. Stay.
I can't.
So what? I'm just supposed to sit here and wait for you? For God knows how long, just thinking you're fucking dead the entire time?
I don't plan on dying.
Yeah, well, neither did Jesse. Or Joel. Hey, stop. Hey, come on. We've got a family. She doesn't get to be more important than that. No. I'm not gonna do this again.
I can't believe you traded a pistol for this. It's a lead. No way that guy saw fireflies over here.
Stop. I feel good about this.
Well, I don't.
Come on.
Abby and Lev, however, carried on with the dream that Owen had to go to Santa Barbara and to look for the fireflies, just to see if it's true. They were apparently regrouping and forming again, so Abby and Lev decided to leave the city and see for themselves. They traded a pistol for the location of one home in particular, one where there were reports of sightings. They found a secret entrance to the basement and a list of different call signs next to some form of ham radio. Abby tried multiple times, losing hope towards the end, until...
If anyone can hear me, please reply. Please answer.
Hi, Abby. We got a clear signal on you. Where in Santa Barbara you calling from?
2425 Constance. We got a tip about a base, but there's no one here. We're looking for fireflies. I'm a firefly.
Where were you stationed?
I was part of the Salt Lake outpost.
Who ran that facility?
Dr. Jerry Anderson. He was my dad.
Well, how about that? We pulled everyone back from the satellite stations and brought them back here to home base.
How many of you are there?
We're about 200 strong now, with a few more every month.
Owen was right. You're about to get 2 more. How do we find you?
Get to Catalina Island. Approach the large domed building in Avalon. We'll find you.
Okay. Okay, we'll see you soon. Over and out.
Looking forward to it. Good luck, Abby from Santa Barbara. Over and out.
Come on, let's get back to the sailboat.
Catalina Island, that was the goal. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing from there.
Don't kill her now. Tie her up. Come here, let me see you. You ready?
Wait, what are you doing? Wait.
Fuck, man! You're fine. Get that little one.
Don't you fucking touch him!
Shit. What hell of a catch, huh?
Ellie, however, wasn't finished and made her way exactly to that location. She was ready to finish it all, find Abby once and for all, and hopefully that will bring closure to her. Until she was caught in a trap and was stabbed by a sharp branch on a tree, straight into the side of her. 2 bandits approached and seen that Ellie was bitten. Ellie started taunting this bandit until he made a big mistake in trying to get a clicker to bite her.
Something funny?
Looks like you shit your pants.
Fuck you say?
Oh, little bitch.
Oh, you like funny, huh? Get up.
Come on.
Get up.
We don't need
No,
this.
man, she's fucked up anyway, man. Come on.
Please, don't.
Yeah, it's funny, right? It's funny.
Serious?
Come on. Laugh.
Ellie pulled the hand into the face of the clicker and, well, the bandit was eaten, essentially, and bitten. She shot a big guard as well using the suppressed SMG, who started spilling the beans on Abby's location. They've had her for a while, a few months at least. Who this group are, we don't really know, to be honest, but this must be something that'll be fleshed out within part 3. She's being kept in a tall, round building, so Ellie makes her way through to find her. She infiltrates this building, and inside, a bunch of holding cells. She frees the prisoners, however, no Abby. Abby tried to escape with Lev months ago, so they strung her up on a series of pillars near the beach, and she's been left there ever since. prisoners leave, and Ellie makes her way to the pillars.
Abby? Please. It's you. Abby. I got you. I got you.
Ellie cut Abby down. The weight she'd lost from starving, the cuts and the burns on her skin from the sun, her hair sheared off. Abby cuts Lev down and carries her to the boats, telling Ellie that the boats are this way. There were 2 boats docked and ready to go. Ellie slowly followed behind, losing her strength after being stabbed by that branch earlier on, until she got to the boat. She thought about it for a second, letting Abby go, letting her leave. But then,
I can't let you leave.
I'm not doing this.
No.
I'm not gonna fight you.
Yes, you will. this. You made him a part of this. Okay. Okay.
Abby was only ever doing what Ellie set out to do as well, to inflict revenge on what happened to their loved one. There was nothing personal about this towards Ellie. This was all Joel. Ellie finally returned home, 2 of her fingers being bit off by Abby. But when she got home, Dina and the little one, well, they were long gone. Along with all of their possessions and furniture. Apart from one room, the art room. Ellie walks in, finds all of her stuff stacked up, the records her and Dina liked, and of course, the guitar that Joel gave to her at the beginning of the game, the same one that Joel was polishing in the first cutscene. Ellie sits and tries to play the song that Joel first played to her with her 2 missing fingers, thinking back to the simpler times.
What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Where'd you get that?
Those people that came through last week.
Oh.
A little embarrassed as to what I had to trade to get it, but it's not bad.
I had Seth under control.
Yeah, I know.
And you need to stop harassing Jesse about my patrols.
Okay. Dina. Is she your girlfriend?
No. No, that was just one kiss. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know why she did that.
But you do like her.
So stupid.
Look, I have no idea what that girl's intentions are, but I do know that she would be lucky to have you.
You're such an asshole.
I'm not trying to.
I was supposed to die in that hospital. My life would have fucking mattered. But you took that from me.
If somehow the Lord gave me a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again.
Yeah. I don't think I can ever forgive you for that. But I would like to try.
I like that.
Okay. I'll see you around.
Yep.
Ellie forgave Joel and wanted to make amends with Joel. And resting their guitar against the window, it resembles that. It resembles that forgiveness. Ellie's at peace with what happened. She can now move on with her life and start building something for herself. She doesn't need to have that resentment anymore. That chapter with her and Abby is now closed off. She can tell Tommy that she went and killed her. She now has her closure, and I think that's all she's ever wanted. The Last of Us Part 2 was a masterpiece, story-wise and gameplay-wise. The game was controversial on paper, but in reality it was an emotional marvel. Joel's death is not something anyone wanted, or something that anyone expected that might happen, but with what happened and the cruel nature of the world, it shows it can happen to anyone, and no one is invincible here. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the entire Last of Us story explained to us thus far. This video took a long time to make, get footage for and put together, so any support you can show us would be absolutely fantastic. Leave a like on today's video if you did go to enjoy, it'd be very much appreciated. Do consider subscribing to the channel as well if you're brand new around here. We do loads of videos like this for pretty much any game you can think of, and if there's a story explained video that you want for a particular game series, let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for watching everyone. Speak soon, and take care.